There's something awe-inspiring about seeing a big tree in person, from the shade it brings on a hot summer day to the sheer size of some of them, and just thinking about how long some of them have been around to have grown so tall. Trees inspire peace and contemplation, even with the haze of the Canadian wildfires creating a milky backdrop. This bur oak at Virginia Tech is known as the Alfred Tree, named after Professor William Bradford Alford, who is believed to have planted the tree in 1895. Its crown covers nearly an acre.
This tree was originally nominated to the Virginia Big Tree Register in 2010, and it measures in at 296 big tree points. And what that score is a combination of the height of the tree, the spread of its crown, and the girth of its trunk.
Cooperative Extension runs the Virginia Big Tree program, which seeks to document the largest trees found in the state. Some of the biggest trees can be found in remote areas like the Jefferson and George Washington National Forests. Others are in hard-to-get places or developed areas, such as cities with old graveyards, parks, and universities, such as this 96-foot-tall Fraser fir at Woodbine Cemetery in Harrisonburg.
This is a historic cemetery, of course, with the Union soldiers and the Confederate soldiers here. There's a lot of history here, so people do come to the cemetery on the holidays. It's 18 acres. There's 11,000 sites. Over 9,000 folks are buried here. So, you know, the loved ones that are buried here underneath the tree or surrounding the tree, I'm sure the families appreciate every time they come out and to think about their loved ones and are able to stand under such a magnificent tree.
The tallest trees of a given species in Virginia make the state big tree list, and some of those trees are also the tallest of their species in the United States. Those are designated national champions by the group American Forests. This Osage orange tree is a state and national champion. Experts used a technique called dendrochronology to estimate its age at about 350 years old. It sits at the Patrick Henry Memorial Site in Charlotte County.
What's interesting about this particular tree is its growth habit, in that it doesn't have one single trunk that's really easy to measure like most of the big trees that we have. Instead, it comprises 7 different trunks that sprouted up from the ground. And so this was an example of a tree that was very challenging to measure.
The national champion honey locust tree towers over Fincastle's Godwin Cemetery in Botetourt County. It's 103 feet high with a 112-foot crown and is estimated to be at least 200 years old. It's a popular spot for wedding photos, and church parishioners serve lemonade under the tree after the 11 o'clock service, according to the Botetourt Bee newspaper. Of course, some trees are harder to get to. The journey to the national champion Tulip poplar tree begins with a 30-minute car ride from Bedford, followed by a 45-minute hike through the woods. Unlike the Fincastle and Harrisonburg trees, this one is not publicly accessible.
Right.
You got to make a little bit of a hike for this one. Wiseman led a team from Virginia Tech to check up on the tree, which is on private property. Seeing it in person was well worth the sweat required to get there. Wiseman's team showed us how they measured the trunk's girth. All tree trunks are measured 4 feet off the ground. This one even has a 10-foot cavity at the base that visitors can step inside if they want to. The crack in the base may have been what kept the tree from being cut down for timber in earlier years, so in a way, its flaws are what allowed it to thrive and become one of Virginia's standout trees. For more information about Virginia's Big Tree program, go to bigtree.cnre.vt.edu. In Bedford County, I'm Burke Moeller reporting.